European foreign policy change now that Orban is leaving power? How should it change?
We need to wait and see. We need to wait and see what is going to happen in the European Council. We have two positive developments with the issue of Ukraine. There are a number of other issues, so let's wait and see.
Mr. President, Matakos said yesterday that after the power change in Hungary, now it's open doors to open the first clusters for the Ukraine to join the EU. What is your take on it?
What I can say is that as a presidency, we did all preparatory work, and if the political conditions are there, we are ready to open the cluster.
We are happy to see that finally the decision we took a few months ago can now be put into place so that the 90 billion are transferred to Ukraine to support them in their fight for their sovereignty. And then, of course, the conflict in the Middle East, which is of grave concern to us. We call for de-escalation. We call for the respect of international law. And, of course, to preserve peace and stability in the countries that were torn into this war without being at the origin of the war. We want stability and sovereignty for Lebanon. We want that the Gulf countries can continue to live in peace. And so I think it's very important that we see also some of the leaders of the region tomorrow. So a lot is on our table next to domestic things such as MFF and so on. But it all goes together.
Ukraine is on the membership path, and we are discussing today as well how to really accelerate that, given that we have now new circumstances. So maybe we can move with other things that have been redlined or blocked before. So let's see whether we can move with that.
So full-fledged membership accelerated, not this shortcut that's been offered?
Well, there are different proposals on the table, and of course we can discuss those proposals that are on the table. But right now, I mean, the process is such as foreseen for everybody else, unless we have agreed otherwise.
Ich bin sehr dankbar, dass das Darlehen der Europäischen Union jetzt endgültig freigegeben worden ist. Wir werden aber auch über den Konflikt im Iran sprechen. Und wir werden über den mittelfristigen Finanzplan der Europäischen Union sprechen. Viele Themen. Ich bin sehr dankbar für die großzügige Gastfreundschaft. Und ich freue mich auf die guten Beratungen met den Kolleginnen und Kollegen im Europäischen Rat.
Ik denk dat hij vooral rekent op het deblokkeren van de Europese lening van 90 miljard. En dat zal er nu wel komen. Wat de toetreding tot Europa betreft, denk ik dat wij merits-based, dus op verdiensten moeten blijven gaan. Daar zijn geen fast tracks mogelijk. Maar ik denk dat daar wellicht een model zal uitgewerkt worden om Europa uit te breiden in verschillende lagen. Een volledig lidmaatschap van Oekraïne op korte termijn bij Europa, ik acht dat persoonlijk niet realistisch. Zinloos. We moeten een aanvaardbare vrede bereiken en dan moeten we een relatie tot Rusland ontwikkelen en daar moeten we het over hebben, daar moeten we durven over spreken.
If we will have the goodwill, yes, we can argue, we can have the different opinions, but at the end of the day we will find a solution and we will find a decision. This was most important because it was really pity to say this paralyzed decision making, which makes Europe in the eyes of international society and community less credible and weaker. And this is not our interest to have Europe weaker. We are interested to have Europe strong, and this is the interest of my country too. We see a lot of implications, and first of all on the markets. Looking to the energy market, of course, I see that there are some short-term solutions needed, and the European Commission is ready to provide possible flexibilities which will allow the member states to adjust to this difficult situation. But at the same time, we need long-term vision, and this is an interest of my country to find the solutions which will lead to lower dependence on the fossil fuel.
Guardi, noi dobbiamo trovare delle risposte. Siamo venuti a cercarle qui. Penso che l'Europa debba essere molto più coraggiosa. Chiaramente apprezzo la proposta che ha fatto la Presidente della Commissione europea sul tema dell'energia. È un passo in avanti, non è un passo in avanti sufficiente. Penso che sarebbe un errore, l'ho già detto in passato, se noi credessimo di dover seriamente affrontare queste questioni solo Guardi, oggi abbiamo oggettivamente altre priorità, insomma, oggi io ho la priorità delle spese energetiche, ho la priorità di dare risposta ai bisogni dei cittadini, poi chiaramente vogliamo mantenere tutti i nostri impegni e fare un lavoro che abbiamo sempre considerato importante e che consideriamo importante, dipende però quali sono le priorità che dobbiamo affrontare.
Adria pipeline has proved functional, has proved stable, secure. We have basically transported everything that Hungarian oil company MOL has ordered, both for refinery in Százhalombatta in Hungary and for the other refinery which is in Bratislava. Everything functioned well. The agreements are there, transport is going, but we see now the progress, and we are very happy that both Hungary and Slovakia have agreed to remove the obstacles for the legal documents to be adopted regarding the 90 billion euros loan for Ukraine, which we agreed back in December.
Will you let Russian oil through Adria pipeline?
No, Russian oil was transported to Hungary. Well, we shall see now that the transition in terms of power is finished, but I had a very good conversation with the future Prime Minister Peter Magyar, and we expect very well functioning cooperation within the EU 27, especially regarding Ukraine. I mean, that was the most important obstacle so far. So I think we shall discuss that also tonight with President Zelensky, and I think this is a very good news that the political agreement we had back in December is now respected by all the member states.
What are the next steps for Ukraine and the EU?
In terms of peace deal cooperation, well, the most important thing is the 90 billion euros, 60 million for defense, 30 billion for the functioning of the state. The next step is to discuss how to proceed with the enlargement process. I don't know if the discussion has been already conducted when it comes to the obstacles to opening the clusters. You know that the negotiating process is now not anymore the chapters, but it's the clusters. There were some reservations also by Hungary. Whether this is now removed, we shall, I guess, hear as soon as we have the new Prime Minister among us.
But are you supporting quick accession of Ukraine?
We support Ukraine's accession. I don't think it's realistic that it will happen on the 1st of January 27. I said this during my visit to Kyiv to President Zelensky. We are the latest member. We know how difficult the complex process is. If no clusters have been opened by now, and we are now basically almost 1st of May.
Europe has been standing by Ukraine since the beginning of this war. These funds are indispensable to ensure that Ukraine will continue to function as a state and continue to defend itself. And I'm happy that Europe for now 4 years has stood united and has overcome whatever obstacles we had to face to continue to support Ukraine.
Vi måste göra oss oberoende av olja och gas i allmänhet, men framförallt olja och gas från länder som är instabila eller rent farliga.
Du pratar om att värna svenska intressen i relation till energidiskussionen. Vilka är de? På vilket sätt? Vilka är det som ska värnas?
Jo, men det är ju flera. Det ena, och det var ju det mest akuta, det var ju att se till att inte Europa lägger beslag på svenska flaskhalsintäkter som genereras för att vi har gjort som EU ville och delat upp olika prisområden. Det kan man...
Nous avançons, et d'abord je pense qu'il est important, c'est les décisions de court terme qu'on prend, la confirmation des 90 milliards de prêts, la possibilité d'avancer sur un nouveau paquet de sanctions qui sont indispensables, continuer notre action concrète de soutien bilatéral et d'aide à l'Ukraine et de continuer notre action sur la flotte fantôme. Pour le reste, il va y avoir un débat qui va se nouer et il y a des chapitres d'adhésion. Et je pense que ce qui est important, c'est que la Commission puisse donner un calendrier précis et des initiatives à prendre dans les prochaines semaines pour l'Ukraine et la Moldavie qui sont en attente de l'ouverture de ces chapitres. Je pense que ce qui est important, c'est que le cessez-le-feu puisse perdurer et les États-Unis ont décidé de le poursuivre. Et donc il faut que ça soit suivi des faits et il faut que Hormuz puisse être rouvert. Et donc c'est ce que je plaiderai ici, ce sur quoi nous œuvrons, le cessez-le-feu maintenu et incluant le Liban, la poursuite des discussions diplomatiques avec l'Iran sur la question nucléaire, balistique et les groupes de déstabilisation régionaux, d'avancer des discussions sur le Liban pour une paix durable, et la France prendra ses responsabilités, et une réouverture du détroit d'Ormuz qui doit se faire en bon ordre et pas par des blocus ciblés ou autres. Et c'est tout le sens de l'initiative que nous avons prise avec le Royaume-Uni la semaine dernière. Et d'ailleurs, en ce moment même, la planification militaire et tactique se tient pour pouvoir justement dérouler le plan que nous avons décidé.
I'm very thankful to all the leaders for their unanimity. This is not just positive decisions. It's not about just words. It's strengthening our army. It's our internal production of drones and systems of electronic warfare. It's our life because it's also about surviving. We had quite, difficult, really awful winter with all these ballistic attacks and massive drones attacks. We destroyed 90% plus of it, but not everything. And that's why our energy system was under massive attacks, and it was very difficult for us. We have now make a lot of progress in reconstruction of energy, first of all, to prepare for the next winter, and we need money for that. It's great. We will partially use this money from 90 billion. We will use partially this money for recovery of our energy system.
Mr. President, one question. Do these 90 billion show that you don't need the United States anymore because Europe is your main partner now?
During the war, we need everything and everybody. And of course, we're very thankful to Europe. They're the biggest donators. Yes, we need United States. You know that we are not only partners. There is the program of the United States Pearl. And we need anti-ballistic missiles. And of course, Ukraine. Now I had some communications with different countries, European, including Middle East, and we will try to build our Ukrainian and a system of anti-ballistic. I always said that we are neighbors, Ukraine and Hungary, and I think that our people need to have strong, warm, good relations. It's not only about, strategic relations. You are neighbors. You have to live in peace. I think that Prime Minister was not right because you can't increase the hateness to your neighbors, not only to neighbors, to everybody. You can't do it because I think it's a mistake. But it's up to him, and we see the result. That's why I really wish new government all the best. A lot of things depends not only on President Kosta and President von der Leyen. We need unanimity from all the allies. I think that we will be ready with clusters. We are ready with 6 clusters. I hope that we will open them and our allies will support this.
Jelajahi cara baru mendapatkan informasi. Download MetroTV Extend sekarang.